see people logging in. Yeah?
Shows 5 people. Rotate device. It's portrait, not landscape.
Way to rotate.
Can you see it? I need to rotate for some reason. I might have to go back. You know.
No, it's got a lock on there.
But it wants me to do it that way, and if not, it locks it this way.
Got to do it that way.
Yeah. Cool. So, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining us on our second ever live Q&A with me, Elliot.
And me, Paul. Hi, everyone.
And eventually the Glossy Boys. So we've got some questions that we've gathered from various platforms, from YouTube, from Instagram, Facebook, and some private messages. But please do put your questions and your thoughts in the chat, and we'll try and get to you as well. The best question will be winning a lovely golden Guar t-shirt. So throw your thoughts at us. So without further ado, let's get the Glossy Boy out. So let's release
the hound.
Let's release the hound and see what he wants to do today. So Loki today has been really busy, meeting lots of new friends. Okay, so
Like
a big
Jean.
shout out to Jean, who came today to meet Loki. She had a great time, and I think he did too. So here, come on.
Here we come.
Here he comes. Hello, mate.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
So here he is. Yeah, shouty as ever. So let's kick off with a question from YouTube. Okay, and this is from CleppyMad100. So, Paul.
Yes, mate.
How did we get Loki to first trust us?
Well, you did most of it. Always going off on a nice saw.
There
So,
we go.
oh, it's gone over there.
Gone back to the photo.
Again, because of his starting life, it was more of a trust thing. Elliot done a lot of hard work. Sarah Jane did a lot of hard work. The big thing was trying to get communication going with him, and I believe you did that with the xylophone predominantly.
Absolutely, yeah.
So again, he's using that beak in a frustrated way to start off with.
Yep.
So the way we sort of took that out of him was by introducing food predominantly, and perseverance really was the big thing. He was pushing us, trying to push our buttons. So he would give you a little nip. He'd use that beak to see how you reacted. Because I think, hello mate, I think most of the reactions he used to get from people, obviously you got a great big bird sitting there. Yes, I know, mate. Over there. Was predominantly aggressive. So we've taken that out of our reactions. We're not reacting at all to any aggression that he shows. And again, building up this communication with the xylophone predominantly, it built his trust. And slowly, Elliot, you've done a lot of work with him. And I'll just come along and get the glory at the end, really. So Elliot took most of the punishment.
I did, yeah. But as a caveat to that question, they've also said, did you train him like a bird of prey?
These guys are much different to birds of prey. Birds of prey, you can see the intelligence. He knows where we've got the food. But birds of prey, it's all about reward for food. These guys, you have to stimulate them. So if I just give him food, he's just going to take food and go back to his aviary. He doesn't need to, and he's going to get bored. So we need to keep his brain stimulated. Bear in mind, these are probably one of the most intelligent animals out there. He starts to build up a trust, and if we're just giving him food, he's going to get bored quickly. So this is why we bring in these toys, this type of thing. It's keeping him stimulated all the time. Ravens and the corvid family are highly intelligent, so you need to keep them stimulated mentally. So
yeah, a little bit different to a bird of prey,
Yeah.
But we still did use a few techniques. So we did have him on a creance,
Yeah.
which is a fancy French word for a piece of string. Okay, so we would do flying training, so little short jumps to start with, and to get him familiar with the glove, and to work in with us for food. And then eventually, as the distance got further and further away, we could take off the creance and let him go completely free. So we did start using bird of prey techniques, but to train ravens, really you could probably train them more like a dog. So you can use clicker training, okay? So they respond really well to that kind of training. and basically you have to establish yourself as the king of the pack.
Yeah.
That's really important. So like an alpha.
So we've got a question from Shazzy 5393. Was Loki a rescue bird?
He was a rescue. Yeah. I mean, he was 1 year, 2 years old when you got him.
He was definitely an adult. So
Yeah.
yeah, just over a year old when we got him. Yeah.
I mean, you can go more over his stories and his starting life, but I believe it was the previous owner had passed away, unfortunately.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
So the way we knew that he was already an adult is that when ravens mature, the inside of their mouths and their beaks turn from pink to black. Okay, so he had already had a black tongue and a black mouth, so we knew he was already an adult, and he was a rescue. And unfortunately, he was a bit of a bad state. Okay, he was quite fearful and mistrusting of people, and he'd been left on his own a lot. So he was severely lacking in people skills, and he had a lot of anxiety as well to deal with. So we had to try and coach that out of him and see what his triggers were. Just like a human, we had to see what he was scared of and how to help him overcome these fears. So yes, Loki was a rescue.
Also, Christine Matthews asked, what's the age of Loki?
Okay, so Loki had his 7th birthday on the 3rd of February this year. Okay, so he's Aquarian, which he's also means he's still quite young. Okay, so in the wild, ravens can live up to about 20 years old. Okay, and in captivity they can easily surpass 40. Okay, so we've got him for quite a long time.
And Loki Love said, does Loki have a favourite snack?
Does Loki have a favourite snack?
Yeah. Cat biscuits are predominantly the go-to one with him, but he's got grapes are another favourite, and mealworms at the moment. He seems to be really partial to a mealworm, but we do try and mix his diet, so he can't have all the good things.
He absolutely loves cheese.
Cheese, yeah.
If he sees cheese, he goes bananas.
You've got to be careful when you're having your lunch, basically.
Oh yeah.
If he's out and about and you've got your lunch, then it's predominantly, it's going to be Loki's.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
There's a lovely family found out with the donut incident, but he does like a donut.
And
But-
Loki, Guinevere says hi.
You're
You
going to
say
say hi,
hi?
Guinevere? Loki? No?
Okay, so I've got one here. It's come from a recent post that we did with Loki on the scales. Okay, so this is from Hawaiian Kansan Findle. Okay, so hello to you in Kansas. Is Loki at a good weight, and how much does he weigh?
We can,
Should we have a look?
We can have a little look.
Yeah.
Public weigh-in.
Public
weigh-in. Come on up,
Hope
yeah.
you hope you're nice and trim, good boy. So we've trained him to jump up. He's looking for a bit of reward now. We're weighing in grams.
So
He's
you-
weighing old money.
Come on.
Good boy.
So today he's weighing in at 1.15 kilos. Okay, so I think if I'm about right in old money in pounds and ounces,
We can switch.
oh, he's about £2.9.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the money.
Right on cue. Love
Okay,
it.
so he weighs £2.9 in old money and 1.15 kilos. Okay, so that's what we consider his kind of a good weight for him. Okay, we don't want him to obviously be too low. Okay, we obviously don't want him to be too heavy because he becomes unresponsive. So we keep him in the ballpark of in old money 2.7.
7, yeah, to 211.
Yeah,
something like that.
211. So there's a little bit of a range there for him to be in. And ravens, they're a bit different to birds of prey, whereas their metabolism works a little bit different. Because they're omnivores, they've got a lot more variety and choice to eat rather than the birds of prey that are strictly meat eaters. So he's a bit more versatile with his weight.
He's also got his little stashes over there, so
All over this place
Yeah, so
are Loki stashes, yeah,
quite
absolutely.
difficult to keep him precisely on weight because he's got his little larder of
Of
stuff.
snacks.
Yeah, snacks. So
Let me come.
come on, Sarah. Yes, I know.
Frank Spector, this is an interesting one. What's your favourite fable about ravens?
Fable.
A favourite about ravens. Okay, mine is that they are the harbingers of doom.
Yeah.
That's got to be the most popular, yeah. But ravens are so vastly diverse with their emotions. Okay, these guys understand remorse. Okay, they understand when you're sad. They understand how to play jokes. So they're a real kind of they're more
Coming up
than
here?
what the legends often say. You know, they do get a lot of negative
Yeah,
connotations.
big time. Yeah.
You know, they're very villainous in the world of mythology.
The
And
birds.
yeah, and birds if you're of a certain age.
Yeah.
So they're I mean, they do have their villainous streak, absolutely, but there is so much more to them, and Loki has definitely shown us this wide range of emotions.
Also from Hank Spector, could ravens be trained as an emotional therapeutic animal?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we have lots of guests here, and Jean was here today meeting Loki, and I think she won't mind me saying she got quite emotional when she met him. So, I mean, they are like a dog. I mean, he will show you empathy. He will show you lots of different emotions, and if we're feeling down, he will come and cheer you up. Who won't be cheered up by Loki coming and saying hello? So, yeah, definitely a little bit different to a therapy dog, because again, they're a lot more emotional, these guys,
And also individual.
yeah, exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
So, for example, I had an experience with Loki. When my mum passed away, I came up here one night about 8 o'clock, and I let him out of his enclosure, and he was doing his normal Loki stuff, just caching and finding food. And then he kind of clicked that I wasn't my normal self. So he came and sat with me, and what he did was he basically rolled upside down on my lap and put his legs in the air and started doing this really weird cooing, which he's never done before and he's never done since. So that was kind of his little secret, you know, I'm going to do this for you, but don't you dare tell anyone because it's going to ruin my street cred sort of thing. So.
Mr. Cole GP, I was wondering whether there are certain sounds that Loki's particularly interested in and engages with besides voice.
The rattling of cat biscuits. Yeah.
Yeah, he loves.
Yeah,
he
the
knows
rattle
the
of
sound
cat
of that. Yeah.
It's I mean, if we gwar at him, he will gwar back, and the hubba-bub. Come on, come and say hello. No, no. Yeah. I don't know if you guys can see him over there, but there's a plant pot over there. Yeah. It is his strawberry patch, and it's one of his favourite little stash points. He thinks we don't know about it, but we do. Come on.
In terms of noises that he reacts to, his eyesight is really acute.
He doesn't miss a trick,
No,
does he?
as soon as you put your hand in your pocket, he knows that there's going to be some snacks coming out, or at least that's his plan. And if he doesn't get the snacks, he might try and bully us to get some.
Come on.
Jane, thank you.
Oh yeah. Hi, Jane.
Hi, Jane. Said, how long does he usually sleep for?
It's a bit difficult because we've been up here at quite late at night, and he's not known we've been here, and he's been chatting away to himself. So he's a bit like a teenager, I suppose. It's up all night and then he dozes during the day. So it's a bit difficult to say. It's about 6 or 7 hours, but again, they tend to keep one eye on what's going on, and he's done a nice little rouse there. Come on.
If you go to him.
Yeah, we'll go
Let's
to him. I've got a question for you, Elliot.
Okay.
Sorry.
You're going to call me Loki, weren't
Yeah, I
you?
was going to call you Loki. Yeah. This comes in quite a lot. What are the ropes on his legs?
Okay, so these are flying jessies, and you can see there's 2 on each, okay, and these aren't tied. A lot of people think that these are tied together, okay, and this is a telemetry system which is completely separate, which we put on him when he's going out for his flights. So these jessies, okay, are the same thing we use in falconry, and they allow us to hold him on a glove so we can do health checks, because it's just like trying to put shoes on a toddler, okay? He doesn't always want to be, you know, have his beak checked or his feet inspected. So we need to make sure that we can hold him, and also we can make sure it's safe before we let him go free, okay? So these are purely there so we can have a little bit of control on him, and they don't impede his flight at all, okay? So as you can see, they're just made out of nylon, which we thread ourselves here. Sometimes they're made out of leather.
Yeah.
Okay, but these are what we call flying jessies, and there's no hole in there, so you can see it's completely sealed unit, so it won't get snagged if he goes and flies in a tree. Good boy.
He's got a nice stash in his.
I can see.
Yeah, but I forgot to show you how many biscuits he's got in there at the
You're
moment.
a cheeky boy, aren't you?
And Bobo says, are ravens smarter than parrots, or are there exceptions about that?
We're going to say yes for that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get hate mail from parrot owners now, but
Absolutely. Well,
yeah.
the new studies have been done recently. Various universities have now put their intelligence up from they were kind of considered like toddlers in humans, but now they're more considered as prepubescent teenagers. So we're talking a 12, 13-year-old. And that's usually kind of parrots do a lot. Oh, we back in? We might have dropped out. Okay.
Yeah, you're saying about family pack. We've got, luckily, with where we are in the Lee Valley, we've got, we did have 2 ravens flying around, wild ravens. And yesterday, the day before, we believe we've got 4 now, so that we've got 2 in the area. So the ravens are doing pretty well around here now, which is amazing, considering we're in Essex. And
Yeah. So in this country, it's interesting that we don't have the big packs that you find in the US. So in the US, you can have up to 30, 40 of these guys in huge flocks, whereas here you're most likely to only see maybe a mating pair. Oi! Hey, you don't bully me.
No, stop that.
Come on. Just go for a walk.
Yeah, because they do, I mean, they follow the wolves around a lot as well, don't they?
They do, yeah. And it's, the reason why they follow the wolves, or they'll lead the wolves to prey, is so that they can get the wolves to open up the carcasses, okay? Because they haven't got the strength to open up a moose carcass. So they let the wolves do that, then they all feed together. So it's a kind of symbiotic relationship with nature.
Got a question from Steph via Instagram. How do we stimulate his creativity on a daily basis, and how many people look after him?
So Steph, massive apologies. I was supposed to answer this question last time, but we have got round to you, and Steph has actually come and met.
Cool.
Yeah, she has got a Loki t-shirt which she likes to sport. So how do we kind of test his creativity? So as you can see, he's got toys exactly like this. Okay, so we get lots of different toys, and we either buy them for him through t-shirt sales, or people like to donate them to us. Okay, so this tests his intelligence and his creativity. So we don't always fill all these pods up. Okay, so some of them we leave bare and we make patterns, and he recognizes these patterns and he doesn't even bother trying to search those. Okay, so we can test him to see if he's remembering these patterns, and then we can mix it up as well. Also, how old? How many people work with him?
How many look after him?
Well,
come on, now, this way. You.
There's a whole team of us, so there's a whole network of slaves for Loki. Okay, so we have Paul, does a lot of work with Loki, obviously. We have Luke,
Come on,
we have Emily, we have myself now and again, and we have SJ, who's the boss of Coda, does quite a lot with Loki too. There's quite a few of us that work with him on a daily basis, and he does have his favourites. I'm not going to say who they are, and he does have those he likes to bully. Equally, I won't say who they are either.
This is the mealworms he's got at the moment. As so you can see, he's quite enthusiastic about getting to them. So, these are a particular.
We don't want to make it too
favourite,
easy for him, do we?
No, I was going to say.
Come
Normally
on.
he cheats with this one. He normally tips it over, but he's got his mind set on getting as many mealworms into his beak as possible.
What if I turn upside down?
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier for him. But you can see how delicate he is with that beak.
Incredibly dexterous and very
Yeah.
quick as well. So I've got a question for you, Paul.
Go on, mate.
This is from Madeline Trepka from
Yeah.
YouTube, and she has
Hi,
said,
Madeline.
how is he so glossy?
How is he so
It's a
glossy?
question we all want to know, really.
Yeah,
you know.
well, it is. I mean, it's
I mean,
obviously
maybe not
an
so much.
intense routine. Of me or the yeah. Again, it's a good diet. So predominantly a good diet. If he's in good condition, he's preening, he's keeping those feathers in good condition. He's all that energy, all that goodness is coming through, and you can see in his condition. He's molting a few feathers out at the moment, but again, if he wasn't in such good nick, if he wasn't getting such a balanced diet, and we do try and give him a good balanced diet, say mealworms, vegetables, fruits, and then he has his meat, so we give him rat, we give him chick. At the moment he's molting some feathers, so we're going back to that weight issue. When he's molting his feathers, we try and keep him a little bit heavy, so he's got the energy to push those feathers through. But again, a lot of it's nice cat biscuits as well.
Yeah, all those rich oils in
Yeah.
the cat biscuits, helps with that lovely glossy sheen.
I don't know
Because
if Emily can come in nice and close. You can see the sheen on him. You can see that blues and those purples and those different hues that you get.
you're worth it, aren't you, mate?
He is worth it.
As
Yeah.
Sportwoman says, how many behaviour cues does he know?
Behaviour cues. So
Well, if he's being naughty.
if he's being naughty, yeah. So the way we have to discipline this kind of animal is, like all animals, you know, physical is never the answer.
No.
Okay, because that just exacerbates problems. So the way we discipline him and the cues we would use are tonal and body language. Okay, so he responds very well, just like a dog. If he's, you know, being villainous again, if we want to use that word, he will be pushing his boundaries, and we will turn our backs and we will leave him.
It's an empathy thing coming in it.
Yeah, it is absolutely. So he knows when he's done wrong because we will scorn him with our words and our tones. So he reacts to our tones. So he definitely knows when he's been bad because we will give him a firm call. So he will understand what we mean by that, and then he has been known to actually apologise. So he'll come round and he'll offer up a cute little sound to say, "I'm sorry, can we play again?" because he wants some more snacks.
And Stephen Cranmer says, how is Loki always a good boy?
How is he always a good boy? Sounds like a Loki fan,
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
he?
He does then follow that up with, actually don't answer, we all know why.
We all know why. Loki is a good boy most of the time. But as his namesake says, he is a very mischievous boy, and he does like to play tricks on us. For example, stealing my car keys, my lunch, he's
Actually, yeah.
Padlock.
Yeah.
padlocks, he's poured a cup of coffee on my lap.
These are one of his favourites as
The
well.
pliers.
Yeah.
Oh, he stopped, he's seen the pliers.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like,
He
hello,
knows where they
hello.
are. Oh.
Sense the rain, that's why he couldn't
Yeah.
go that way. Can we go follow him?
Might
Okay. So Paul, we've got another question from Instagram from Sim Hawk, who says, does he mimic words?
doesn't mimic words as such. He mimics Elliot a lot with his laugh. So the gua and the hop 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 hop, which we're all trying to get practiced at. Again, it's weird. He's making a new noise. I don't know if you heard him when you put him on the glove. He makes this.
Yeah, it's a very
noise.
cutesy noise.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But again,
Okay.
it's not sort of. It's more tonal, and again, we're trying to mimic him a lot of the time because he's making his own sort of language for us to. I think he's training us long term, basically. So this is inside Loki's home. So you can see it's nice and sheltered, and it's got this massive swing that I'll move out of Emily's way. How Elliot built up the trust predominantly of all by just communicating with him. Yes. Another question. See Beatrice Alvarado via Instagram. Does Loki demonstrate when he doesn't like someone?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a short answer.
Yeah.
And the way he does that normally is he just won't respond to them.
Yeah.
He just won't pay any interest. Even if you've got food, he'll just completely ignore you and just go and do his own thing. He does like to bully some of our staff, and he does that. Not because he doesn't like them, but it's more because he sees them more as a sibling rivalry. Okay, so sometimes he'll peck at people's shoes, he'll pull their socks.
Quite adept at getting your ankles, isn't
Yeah, but he's also managed to undo shoelaces and make people trip up. So he definitely knows what he's doing, and that's what. Are we back? Okay, so from Hank, sorry Hank, your question, could ravens live together in harmony in the wild?
Yeah, different species of
Different species. It's unlikely to, but it is known that wild ravens will seek out new packs, okay? And with that, they've also been known to learn different dialects, okay? So there was an experiment done in Australia where one raven who who had a certain dialect or a call, he left his pack and found a new group of ravens, okay? He learnt their dialect, and then he went back to his own original pack and taught them the new dialect. So it is possible, and we call these vagrants, okay? So they sometimes leave the nest and they can join other packs. Yeah, absolutely.
Come on, come and say hello. I've got a question from Ryan via Facebook, Ryan Donnelly. What is a liquid which drips from his beak and why?
So we've had that quite a lot
Yeah.
recently. So it's like a very salty liquid water, and I know it's salty because he shakes his head and it goes everywhere, okay? So he does like to share it, and this is a lubricant that birds use to keep their mandibles nice and moist, okay, and so it allows them to pass food. But it's also like a happy dog, you know, when they start to have a wet nose, it's a good sign that they're in a really good mood and they're happy. And Loki does this a lot when he's in a good mood. You know, he gets overexcited and he starts dribbling from the beak. We know it's going to be a good day for Loki.
Mr. Cold GP, does Loki like shelled walnuts?
Does he like shelled walnuts? We've never fed him shelled walnuts. We have,
That might be a new one.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. We have given him peanuts, and he's quite fond of those, but not too many because they are quite high in fat for him. But yeah, shelled walnuts. Yeah, we'll give that a go. Thank you.
We'll try that next video. Come on.
And Gemma from the Wolf Pack.
Hey, hi Gemma.
Are there behaviour commands you can ask him to do?
So,
It's not really doing commands. is
so
it?
it's not. Yeah, you can do it with other ravens, but because Loki's
Come on.
beginning and lack of training in the early days, he's not that adept to those sort of commands. He knows things like if I put my hand up and we're in the flying kind of zone, he will come and fly to us, especially at the beginning. When he's not too hungry, for example, he just will do his own thing because he's got his own mind. He's fairly independent.
doing at the
like
moment,
he's doing now. He's
exactly.
just sitting on the edge of his aviary, just watching us in the rain, thinking, what are they doing? So yeah, but he will respond to certain, you know, he will respond to jumping on your lap, he will respond to jumping on your shoulder, flying to different perches, and it's all done with eye contact and with signaling with hands, which we always put a bit of food in. Yeah.
I've got one for you personally now.
Yeah.
Now you've taken them off. This is various people.
Okay.
Elliot, do you always wear sunglasses to protect your eyes from Loki?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, and you know, you may not believe me, but I wear sunglasses because it's sunny most of the time.
Yeah.
But not today because now we're having the good old British weather where it's raining. No, Loki's never been aggressive towards the face. He maybe had a little nibble on the ear back in the day.
Ears, yeah.
But there is that kind of perception of ravens always going for eyes.
Yeah, but
But-
again, we're back to Hitchcock and the birds, aren't
We
we?
are,
Yeah.
we are.
Yeah.
But again, there's no smoke without fire because ravens are known to eat eyes of their prey. But interestingly,
Hello, come join the gang again.
ravens do understand that going for the eyes of a foe is a really serious thing to do. Okay, so if a raven is having a fight with another raven over territory or mates, they won't attack each other in the eye because they know that's a really serious thing to do. So they do have an awareness that the eyes are incredibly important. So it's something they
Gonna
don't
stash
take lightly.
some food now.
Yeah, I can see
Oh, he's done a
that
little.
goulash bulging.
Yeah.
True Love says, does Loki sleep all day or is he always active?
He's always
He's
active,
always
doing it,
yeah.
especially when he knows there's people about. Yeah,
especially when there's food around. Yeah.
food and people.
Yeah.
He likes to interact with people. He gets to see lots of different people every day. Sees other birds.
I think he's
Um,
missing the visitors to the farm a
He
lot.
is, yeah, because of
Because-
COVID.
Yeah. So normally.
But that means he gets extra time with us. So
he does, yeah, which is a
keeps him busy.
bonus
Yeah, yeah.
for us
And
as well.
Luke, our resident Falconer and dinosaur nut,
All right.
seeing as birds are from dinosaurs, can you tell me what dinosaur he comes from?
Luke could probably be able to
Yeah, I
help
know.
us
That
answer
sounds like a
this.
trick question,
Yeah,
doesn't it? Really?
yeah, it's a loaded question
Yeah,
there.
thanks,
Luke. Yeah,
Luke.
cheers. Thanks for that, mate. So Luke, obviously, he's one of Logan's handlers as well. So, and he's a resident. No. So hopefully, Luke is going to reward us.
Good boy.
Get us out of our misery
I am.
by saying what dinosaur is related to. I'm going to say
I win.
Gigantosaurus.
Gigantosaurus.
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
It's-
Good
Is-
boy.
I like
is-
this one. From Shannon Kobayashi, what is your favourite prank that Loki has played on you?
oh dear.
There's a few,
I
isn't
was
there?
going to say there are a few. Isn't there?
So mine is, I think, and it's not really a prank, it's more entrepreneurial skills, I
Yeah.
think, is that he understands value, okay, and he understands currency. So every time he sees us go to clean,
yeah.
he always goes for the sponge
Mhm.
because when he stole it the first time, he ran around the aviary, made us chase him, okay, like a Benny Hill sitcom, okay, and he wouldn't fly, he would run, and he would stop running if we stopped chasing him. So we made a big reaction, and he knew that that sponge was important to us. So every time he sees it, he goes to try and steal it. So we had to trade it, didn't we? We had to barter. So I said, okay, how about 3 grapes for the sponge? And he obliged, and he gave me the sponge back. Okay, and that was a good deal for him. So every time he goes to see the bucket, the first thing is head goes in and he looks for that sponge. So we are very cautious to keep it on us. So when he can't see the sponge, he looks for the next best thing, which is the padlock to his aviary, isn't it? Yes. So
It's not tied down.
basically, yeah. You can tell he comes from Essex.
Yeah.
So he stole the padlock, and that was more important to us than the sponge, and we made a massive deal out of it. It was like, no. Our body language and our tone said to him, padlock is important to these guys. I'm going to go after this every single time. So I chased him around the aviary, around the flying arena as normal, and I said to him, okay, let's barter. So I got him some grapes. So I offered up the grapes, and he said basically that. He was like, no. And he had the padlock in his mouth, and he wasn't going to give it back to me. So I said, right, okay, no, you keep it then. I'll call you bluff. And that was a big mistake because what he did was he went and buried the lock. Okay, so we couldn't find it. The next day, we let him out of his aviary and he went straight to a little secret part of the flying arena and he uncovered his bounty of the padlock and he brought it to me and he said, so basically, are you willing to trade now? Are you going to be, take this seriously? So I said, okay, here's 3 grapes. And he scoffed at my offering and I said, okay, you don't want 3 grapes. What have I got? So I looked in my pockets and I had a biscuit, a chocolate biscuit. And as soon as he saw that chocolate biscuit, that padlock dropped quicker than a lead balloon, okay? And he took the biscuit back to his aviary. I had the padlock, and every time he comes out, he always goes for that padlock to try and see if he can get another chocolate biscuit out of me. So that's my
Pretty similar, yeah. It's snips. We put their telemetry on with cable ties, and we take them off with these. So I've got this in my pocket. He knows exactly where they are at the moment, but I've lost count of how many of these are laying around the arena. We've been through dozens of these. He's a master at hiding them. I mean, me and Luke watched him bury, I think it was a pair of snips, and yeah, I'm not a young man, but I can still see. But he managed to deceive both of us. And Luke's a young man; he's 25. So it's we watched him bury these snips, and again, I couldn't find them for the love nor money. So where they are now, I do not know. But yeah, he does like to goad us by saying, I'm more intelligent than you, basically.
And he can fly.
Yeah, and he can fly, and he's quicker than me, as you've probably seen on videos as well. So me wheezing along as he flies past me, goading me. So. No,
we definitely need to try to do that though. But the thing is, I reckon he'll just take the paintbrush and steal it and run away.
Yeah. And brushes and
yeah.
Basically.
How many we have to buy back?
Yeah.
You gonna come over and play, or are you gonna go
again?
Back home?
He does. The bartering system is getting basically loaded in his direction, isn't it? It's getting higher and higher prices all the time. So
absolutely. So it's got the toys now.
Yeah.
So I've got a question for you, Paul.
Comment.
Does Loki have a girlfriend?
He doesn't. Funny enough, me and Jean were talking about this today. So the Raven Master at the Tower of London, he's got a lovely raven called Melina. But Loki being in imprint, he's Elliot's out of earshot, so I'll be able to mention this now. I think Loki really is partial to Elliot, to be fair. Basically, because he's an imprint, he's been brought up as a captive bred bird. So imprinting, basically, you bring them up from a very young age, and then they think we're funny-looking ravens, or he's a funny-looking human. So even if we did introduce him to a lady raven, he'd probably wonder what is going on there. And he does this again with our local crows and our local magpies, and even the ravens that have been over. As soon as he hears them, he will come to either one of us, basically one of these handlers, as protection, because he's like, what is that all about? So it'd be lovely for him to have a lady raven, but I think he's quite happy with Elliot at the moment.
So Beachy Cat Chick on Insta says, and a lot of people said this to be fair, what does the wubba bubba bub sound mean? And you're really good at doing it. So feel
I had
free
to do it last time. I don't think I can do it this time. We're not really sure. Again, pop, pop, pop. Yeah.
Oh,
No, no.
sneaky.
No, he's got his mouth full, so there's no way he's going to do it. Pop, 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 pop. No. We're not really sure. Again, it's just a way of him communicating with us in his own sort of low-key way. Yeah. Can you actually get any more in there, mate?
He's
Um,
raven.
It's like the gua. Again, it's a way of he's started to communicate with us by getting us to mimic him. So the hubba bubba literally come out from nowhere. We heard him doing it in his aviary, and then we started to, yes, thank you. You can see these, my pocket is absolutely been located. So yes, you can't.
True Love has asked again about her question, so she may have missed the answer to that, which was, does he sleep all day or is he always active?
He's pretty much active most of the day. Again, if he goes quiet, it's generally something during the day. He's generally up to something. So if quiet on it, he does make a really weird noise if he's up to something as well. So he's communicating with us all the time during the day. Especially when we come in the morning, you get a nice gua or a hop hop hop, as we like.
What was that?
Hop hop hop. Yeah. But again, if he's in a bad mood, because his call's a bit more harsh. So and again, when we leave at night, we have to say good night to him, obviously, because he's going to miss us overnight. But the local farm or the farm manager wanders through at night just to have a wander to see what's going on with the other animals. And he's generally talking to himself. So how much sleep he does get, I don't know. He's in that teenage age again, isn't he? So
Up all night.
up on.
That raises a good question. If you encountered a wild raven or two in the wilderness and you wanted to interact with them, how would you get their attention? Shiny things or food?
Both, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
It's trust, is again.
it's a long drawn process.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got to feel trustworthy. They feel that you're safe. So leaving food out regular, they will definitely recognise the patterns of you going, and they are incredibly good at facial recognition. So ravens, for example, can spot another raven by facial recognition up to a mile away in the sky. So if you're going to be bringing food and leaving it in a specific place with toys or shiny things, over a course of time, they will totally put the two and two together and say, that person is safe, they're leaving us food, so that's a good relationship to have.
Yeah, definitely. The facial recognition, you've tried to disguise yourself, haven't you? So,
Yeah, we did do an experiment with that. So what we did is I dressed up in hockey mask, cap, scarf, clothes that I've never worn before in the centre, and I came out of the office just over there behind us and walked, and as soon as I got into eye shot, Loki started going nuts. He started calling out, guaring, hubba bubbering. How's it go? Okay. So I said, okay, so he obviously can recognise me. So I went back into the office and I got another member of staff from the farm that doesn't work with him at all, okay? They put on exactly the same clothes, everything, walked straight past his aviary, and he didn't make one sound, okay? So back into the office again, I put the clothes back on again, walked straight out, and as soon as I got within eye shot, he started calling out again. So their facial recognition is incredibly good, but also they can recognise body language and other traits that we subconsciously aren't aware of. Got a few more? Yep. Got a lovely rainbow behind us.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Does he interact with visitors to your place as well? Is he used to the routine or a bit hesitant with new faces? And that's from as16901.
Again, it's back to that trust thing. So, I mean, he's learnt to trust us because we're providing him a safe area to live. And again, if you start shouting and hollering at him, he's going to be a little bit timid. But it's like with any animal, they can detect if you mean them harm. But he's quite active with our visitors. Again, more with us. If we're wandering about, if we're flying our other birds in the arena here, you can hear him guaring a lot. So he's being brought over by Elliot at the moment because he's obviously done something. I don't know what he's been up to, and he's coming over, and we should say hello. But he's again with visitors, he does like the interaction. He just likes to see different people, but he's not going to be as approachable as he is with Elliot and the rest of the team here. So
from the wolf cat. With how smart he obviously is, do you think he'd be able to clicker train a raven?
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely,
and
yeah.
most people that work with ravens from a young age in zoos and places would use a clicker trainer. They're also, you can train them with colours as well. So clickers and colours in conjunction is a really good way to train them. They're super quick, they pick it up. But because of Loki, he was too old and mentally not in the right place to do that kind of training. So we had to do more human, cognitive training and get over his fears and his anxiety. But yes, clicker training and colours is definitely something that ravens can easily pick up.
See how he's liking those cat biscuits. He's ignoring the healthy
You
apple
don't want
option.
my offering of apple.
I haven't got any questions.
We were all out of questions
yeah, we're
for
all out
those,
of
yeah.
questions. So let's see if we've got some more. Yeah. He's brilliant at catching normally.
Or he'll catch the stuff he wants.
Yeah. If I chuck him a cat biscuit,
Yeah.
he's going to catch that. Loki, what's this? Hey, what's this? Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Apple?
Apple? Nah. Cat biscuit? That was a bit of a rubbish throw. Yeah, good boy.
Everyone keeps asking, how do you make them do a guar? There are people wanting guar.
We were trying to tell you. You're going to do a guar? You've got a mouthful of food, haven't you? Guar? No? No. That would be a no.
Loki dances to the beat of his own
Yeah, I
drum,
was
I'm
gonna say.
afraid. What he does is he does it to us a lot of the time, and if we do it back, he gets excited, and then we can do a back and forth call. So it's hard to get him to do it on cue.
That's a
That's like, no,
no. Yeah, what are you doing,
I'm not
idiot?
singing for anyone
Yeah.
unless it's on my terms.
Come up here then. We'll try it up here. Oh no.
So,
Come up here.
going for the guar.
He's up to something. Yeah, he's doing that bounce. Yeah, I thought he was going to go to that weather in. So right, what are you up to? Yeah, let's try. Let me grab some.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, something says laugh out loud. How big is Loki?
How big is he?
It's like a buzzard, really, isn't it?
He's about the size and a bit heavier than the buzzard. So female buzzard we have here is about £2, £2.1 in weight. So he's £2.7. So he's quite a bit bigger. His wingspan's about 4.5, 5 foot.
What's this?
So they are big old units. And in the corvid world, it's a bit different from the bird of prey world, where choose my words incredibly carefully. The females in the bird of prey world are always much bigger. Okay, they're much stronger, more aggressive. Smarter, some say, moodier, mood swings, and that's called sexual dimorphism. Okay, so they need to be bigger so they can look after the chicks and they can defend the young. In the corvid world, it's completely different. Okay, the males are much bigger than the females, and they can be just as aggressive as the females too.
Maggie Love, I know we've touched on this before, but she's just asked a question. Does Loki have a favourite snack?
Does he have a favourite snack? Yeah, usually it's whatever I'm eating.
Wow.
Quick! News just in.
Breaking news. Guar. 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 The magic of a locust. Guar. You gonna do it? Yeah. Or is that all over now? Now you've got your locust. You gonna do a guar? How about hop, 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 hop? Not even a hop, hop, hop. Guar. No? No. We had one guar. We're all guared out.
Okay, so back to the original question was, what's his favourite snacks? He loves locusts, you can see. He loves a lot of human food too, so cheese is like one of his kind of absolute faves. But he does have a lot of other things, so grapes he likes. Mealworms he loves. The cat biscuits are just amazing. You know, he gobbles them up. And he loves chocolate biscuits, which we can't give him too often. But he often does steal them.
Mainly because I like them as well.
Yeah.
And Hank Spector says, how good parents are ravens?
They're amazing, I think. Yeah, they're going to train their bird. They fly in a big group, family group, so they will look after their young. It's not like our barn owls. Barn owls, it's gone after 6 16 weeks.
because they'll eat them.
Yeah,
But the thing is also the parent ravens will also teach the young
Yeah.
what to be scared of and what to not be scared of. And that's where Loki had a bit of a bad start, where as humans, it's our responsibility as his guardians to show him what is safe. So for him, everything is treated as caution right from the get-go. New toys he's wary of. So we have to show him that it's okay, these are safe.
oh, hiya.
Ravens are known for their fantastic memories in the wild. It's known they remember caches for years. How long have you known them to remember a cache site?
I think one of the big problems we've got here is that our local corvids watch where Loki's burying his food.
Yeah.
So they do take quite a bit of it. But he's retrieved stuff like you were saying about the locks and days, and they're amazing. You'll be walking past through the arena, and you suddenly find a lock sitting in there.
An old rusty lock.
Yeah, and he will know again if he's buried a sponge or if he's hidden something. If we start to approach it, and could be days down the line again, he will start to react as soon as we get near it. It's like you're getting warm now, get away from it. And but yeah, they've got amazing memories. Amazing memories. He's going to do. Is he going to do a guar? He's gone all. He's gone all what sort of microphone head. You're going to do a guar on now?
Someone's asking for a
Oh,
What, Paul to do it?
well, no. Loki. You're going to do it. He's got so much food in his beak at the moment.
He's just looking for a safe space
Yeah.
to bury it.
He's buried some here.
So,
so- Yes. Am I getting near to where you buried your food? Let me go and grab a glove and I'll see if we can get him to guar for us.
Okay, so he's making a cache now. Okay, so what he used to do, another part of the bonding method, was he would do fake berries. Okay, so I would watch him doing a berry, and then he would watch us, and then he would fake berry. He wouldn't actually put the food in, and he would do this 4 or 5 times until he's actually done the real berry.
Come here, what's this? You want to do a guar?
So try and get.
Wow. 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 You want to do a guar?
Very pleased with himself.
Yeah, look what I've got. Got another piece of food from one of my slaves. Come on then, come up in the club. We'll do a guar. I know. Guar. You're going to come with guar? You give your beak a nice clean there. You're going to guar. No? About hubba bubba bubba. No? No hubba bubba. Guar. Guar. You're going to fluff your guar, yeah. Guar. Guar. Got one guar, I want a few more guars than that. Guar. You seen Elliot through there, have you? Where are you going now? Oh, we're off and running.
Alright, let's plug you in. We'll go and find him, shall we?
Low lows. Low kick.
Right.
He's off and running.
Let's go and find him.
Yeah.
See what that rogue is up to.
Here he is.
Do you
Yep.
think we can get a finale other
We'll try. We'll put him on that top perch.
Yeah,
so,
we'll see.
you know, we've got a bit of
Sunlight.
sunshine on him and you can see that glossy he is. Oh, we've done a nice little rouse. You make me climb this hill, Loki. Come on, mate. Hey. Leave very low. Come on, up here. Lolos, what's this? Come on. I'll bring you to the pub. Yes. Come on. What is it? What is it?
Home time.
Yeah. Come on. Up here. What is it? What?
As you can see, that is where the Jessie's coming real useful now. Okay, so Paul's got the Jessies, and then this is where the phrase comes from. We take the Jessies and we put it under the thumb, okay, so he can't go anywhere.
I know.
A lot of you ladies out there will be familiar with this term.
You can sit up there. Now, big finale moment. Everybody's waiting. Gua. No.
You get the
No.
chainsaw instead.
Yeah, got gua. What about? No.
Paul's trying really hard. Okay? He's trying really hard.
Have a cat biscuit. Right. How about this one? Gua. No? Gua. No? No?
No guas.
No guas.
You're very selective, aren't you? See that lovely goss. So, have we got any other questions? It's time to call the cameraman now.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Come on, come up here.
Oh, the sun's come out just at the right time. Can you do us a gua, please?
Come on.
Just one
Come
gua.
on.
Sun behind you. Lovely set.
Yeah, just no guas though.
Yeah, no guas. So he's got those again, this microphone head, this big puffy head when he's in a good mood. You're a good mood. No. It's because you've got too much in your beak, isn't it? Hey? Gua. Hey? Gua. 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 What about that? No? No guas? Gua. You're just going to look fluffy and pretty, yeah? Off. Oh, where are you going? Back home. Yeah. I'll pick him up and I think we're doing
Catch that,
That-
and then we might get a gua.
Do another guas. Is that all the questions we've got?
That's it.
Yeah? Good stuff. So thank you everybody for joining us for the second live Q&A. He's going to let him have his stash and we'll bring him out to say a final goodbye. But if you've got any other questions that we haven't covered, do drop us a post and we'll arrange for another Q&A to happen again soon. And then we'll do it all over again. Although we do have to choose our favourite question, by the way. So, what do you reckon? It's a tough one. I think. Was it Hank Spector?
Yes.
About the mythology stuff? Hank, I think your question has won it this week. Okay, so if you're still watching, do drop us a message, either Instagram, Facebook, on YouTube, and we'll get that lovely golden gua t-shirt out to you ASAP. Cool. So thank you again, everybody. We're going to bring him out, okay, and say a final farewell. He's doing a cache. He's getting rid of all that food that he stored up. You can hear him. He's not happy because Paul is trying to take his stash away from him. And I don't blame you, mate.
Like you and chocolate cake.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Here he is.
An absolute stash. Hello? You want to sit still? Look, listen, just get yourself comfortable. Here we go.
He's
Gua.
come on.
Hey! Winner! Gua. Gua. How about? Go on, really top it now. Hop, 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 hop. Hop, 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 hop. No, hop, 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 hop.
You must think you're crazy.
Gua. He's looking at me like, what are you doing, idiot?
Yeah.
Gua.
If only you knew what that meant.
Yeah. Oh, gua.
Got a nice deep
Got a
one.
nice deep
Nice
gua.
deep one.
Gua. Hop, 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 hop.
So
No?
why mimic human words when you make your own language and make us learn that instead?
Yeah. Gua.
Make your own language and make us learn that instead.
Yeah. Gua.
Hey?
You've gone all fluffy now,
All
ain't
fluffy,
you? You're
all
loving
showing
life.
off, yeah.
Yeah. Belly full of gua. Oh, little gua. 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 About a nice deep gua. 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 Gua.
Good boy.
Can you do a hub, hub, hub? Come on. Hop, 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 hop. Hop, 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 hop.
I think we got pretty lucky with that.
Yeah,
to
I
be
think
fair.
we've done all right with the guas, haven't we?
That's
Yeah.
it. Any hubbububs and we'll film them and
Which-
we'll
yeah.
post them.
We'll try and do a hub, hub, hub for next time, won't we? Yeah.
Good boy. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Good catch.
Cool. So thanks everybody for joining again. It's been a real pleasure to get him out and show him to you and answer any questions you've got. And we'll look forward to doing it again next time. So thank you from me.
And from me, thanks for all the questions, and we'll speak to you next time.
Have a great week.
Cheers. Stay safe, everyone.